Hi guys, it's your ultimate hype girl, Courtney Wells here, and I'm with Erin Liberty, and I'm super excited. Thank you so much for having me here.
Of course.
We're at her beautiful showroom, and she is our very first featured female for Girls Night Out on Wednesday. So I wanted to just take some time to get to know you a little bit better. I mean, we've been working together a little bit.
You might know me a little bit.
But I wanted to just let you guys get to know Erin and a little bit more about her incredible business. So
Thank you.
what is High Vibe Living?
Okay, so we don't have a ton of time here, so I'll try to keep this brief.
Right.
But High Vibe Living really is a combination of everything: home, community, and life. And this kind of stemmed from my experience of working in the corporate world and then leaving that career and needing to sort of do an assessment on my own life, and then also the fact that I'm an interior designer and I spend a lot of time with people and in their homes. And through my own spiritual and personal growth journey, what I realized is that energy can affect us internally in our environment. You know, we can inherit it everywhere we go. There's energy. And so I wanted to help people with the actual lifestyle as opposed to just helping them with their homes, because I love being an interior designer and I love coming into people's homes, but it just wasn't enough.
Excellent.
And so with High Vibe Living, it's everything: home, life, and community.
I love that. And from my understanding, High Vibe Living is like the big business, but you have, it's like the umbrella. And
Yes.
you have so many different amazing opportunities to get in tune with your highest self and your highest vibration through your design and a number of other opportunities too. So,
Do you want me to
yeah, absolutely.
spill the beans on that? Okay.
Yeah, please.
So again, through my own personal journey and sort of making this ultra change in my life from being, you know, corporate accountant to being an interior designer and following my creative passions, I actually realized that I wasn't really connected with my higher self and with my authentic self. And the more that I started to be authentic and do the creative work, the more that I realized I had intuitive gifts. And so as a result of that, it kind of just put me on this path to be an intuitive mentor. And it's different than a coach. It's different than a therapist or anything like that. It's really just about reconnecting people, mind, body, and soul, and teaching them how and showing them by removing energy blocks. I'm a Reiki master, so I'm able to do energy work on people. A lot of what we're carrying around with us is subconscious and holding us back. And so with my gifts, I'm able to connect them, mind, body, and soul, clear their energy, you know, teach them the tools to continue to do that healing on their own. But then also I can see their highest version of themselves and connect them with their purpose. So I share with them all of the things, and honestly, it's hard to explain unless you experience it. And Courtney has experienced it, but I can, it's like I'm talking to you, and because only you have, you know, dreamed of doing these things or felt these things, it's like when somebody feels you at that level, it just resonates with you so deeply. And yeah, it's just a really cool experience to be a part of. So I love the fact that I can help people reconnect with their higher self, become that highest version of themselves. And I can't even tell you, it brings me so much pride just to see the people that I've worked with shine and to be changing the world, to be honest with you.
It's amazing. And I have experienced it. Well, and I've worked with you in collaboration with Lisa Lester, with High Vibe Live, which has been
the live event,
which is awesome as well. But I've also worked with you one-on-one, and truly being back in this space is just brings me back to that experience with you, which was life-changing, honestly. So it's great.
Look at you now, the ultimate hype girl.
Well, I'm a hype girl, and it really means a lot to be able to do this with you.
Appreciate
So
the opportunity. Thank you.
for sure. So I just wanted to ask a couple questions.
Sure.
And
Fire away.
we'll just go away. So what inspired you to start your business? I guess you kind of touched on that a little bit, right? What inspired you to start your business, and what motivated you to keep going in the early stages?
Well, so a lot of anybody who knows me knows that I, I'm always somebody who's pushing,
Right.
like pushing to be better, pushing to do better. And I've always kind of been that person that was so invested in myself, but also more so invested in others.
Right.
And so I think in the beginning, I was actually trying to avoid this.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was like, it scared me a little bit when I was learning more about my gifts, and I wanted to hide.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had all of the ego things come up, like the fears around who will judge me when they know this about me. Will they not want to work with me as an interior designer?
Sure.
And then once I can kind of wade my way through all of that, honestly, it was just the calling and the impact that if I don't do this, then I'm just not being my highest self,
Right.
and I'm not being my authentic self. And how can I mentor and teach people to become that higher version of themselves if I'm not willing to do that for myself?
Absolutely.
And so I think in the beginning it was just conquering my own insecurities and my own fears.
Right.
And going back to my core beliefs and intuition that says this is what you're meant to do. And that was truly it. And so from that realization, I guess, it's honestly just been not even a question. It's just what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and you get to a point where you don't question it because it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But for anybody who, isn't necessarily in touch yet, or you don't think that you are, I would actually suggest just find that moment of calm, because it's always in that moment of quiet that your answers are there for you already. And most of the time you already know. And most of the time, you actually already know exactly what to do.
Can you share any challenges you faced as a female entrepreneur and how you overcame them?
Specifically as a female? Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'm not one on like gender roles and that sort of thing. It's interesting though. I will say this, as an entrepreneur, but also just generally, I've kind of found a bit of a theme around my life. Every industry that I've worked in has been a highly male dominated industry.
Right.
So I worked in agriculture,
Sure.
I worked in natural gas, and then now I'm working in the construction space.
Yes.
And so I found myself having to like prove myself over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And in the first two careers, I would probably push more towards shutting down my feminine and being more masculine energy, and that's how I succeeded.
Right.
But in this last, career within the construction and interior design space, I actually have gone more to my feminine energy and just accepted that I am who I am, and that I have a lot of value to add, and just creating really strong relationships coming from that divine feminine perspective has really helped me a lot. So I would say the biggest challenge for me is not feeling that I have to act a certain way, or that I have to be assertive, or, kind of get my back up with that masculine energy in order to be seen as somebody who is a CEO of a business and, does deserve respect.
Sure.
So I'm learning that I can have that respect and be that person just by being, the sort of, I'm a little bit more low key as an individual. That's who I am. I'm soft, I'm peaceful,
Right.
I'm highly creative. But when I was in those other industries trying to prove myself, I shut down that part of myself. So
Right.
I think the biggest challenge for me right now is to continue to stay authentic to who I am.
Right.
And not feel the pressure to
Yeah, absolutely.
be that masculine energy.
I get that. And I feel that too, because similar, I've worked in a lot of male dominated industries, and then trying to navigate, being part of that personality type and connecting on that level, whether it's masculine or feminine, whatever that relationship needs. Right?
And there's no judgment. Like when
Yeah.
I say masculine or feminine energy, to be honest with you, like we all have both parts, and I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I'm just saying that I lost myself to try and be who I thought other people needed and wanted me to be, and that just wasn't authentic to me, which is why it didn't work, frankly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, and to your point, in becoming your authentic self, that's how you overcame feeling that way.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What personal traits do you think have been key to your success as a business owner?
Well, I would say, the answer to that was different at the beginning when I first became a business owner to now. But, looking back in hindsight, the advice that I would give is just, know who you are first. Mm-hmm. Spend time making sure that, you truly know who you are when no one's looking. Mm-hmm. And let that be what drives you, and how you reconnect with yourself and how you make decisions should always go back to that core sense of self. Mm-hmm. And you will never guide you wrong. And there is no one else who knows you better than you. Yeah. And if you're looking for a mentor, that's why you would need to connect with your higher self. No, your higher self.
I know.
Your higher self, but I can help you do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. She is incredible at helping you get back to what that is. And even if you've never been there or aware of that capacity, what that even looks like, mm-hmm. this is a great resource to be able to find you.
So. Yeah, I appreciate that.
No. Next question. So how has your background or upbringing influenced your approach to your business?
Well, that's an interesting one, because that is what actually set me on the healing journey. Wow. Yeah. Sort of recognizing that growing up, I didn't have that sense of self, mm-hmm. and that I would feel like I needed to dim my light for others. And nobody, no one did anything to make me feel that way. It's just we're a product of our upbringing and our experiences. And so I think, thinking back about that, how has that helped me or impacted me in my business? More so, I think the fact that I had those experiences and then I learned how to grow from them, mm-hmm. is now again allowing me to be just my authentic self, which ultimately, if everybody is their authentic self and they're connected to their intuition and their purpose, then they're giving back to the world exactly the way that they should be. Right. And so for me, I know that my gift as an interior designer, a very creative person who's able to visualize people's spaces, mm-hmm. Combined with my intuitive gifts, right. I know that that's what I meant to give the world, and that I meant to help people connect mind, body, and soul, and live in an environment that feels safe for them to do so.
What does that experience look like when you go to someone's home? How does that filter through?
Well, we have a number of different services, and if you want to tag on the spiritual aspect of mentorship, we can do that as well. Mm-hmm. But in terms of high vibe design services, it's really no different than any other interior design services that we offer, other than that you allow me to connect to the energy in the space. Right. I might need to clear the space energetically. I might need to, clear some energy around you or your things. Mm-hmm. We might look at tools for, maybe you're holding on to something in your home or in your life that has energy and it's attached to something. I will be in tune with that and be able to tell you, like, do you really want this in your space? Because right now it feels like it's giving X energy. Sure. So that's sort of like an energy home design visit. In terms of the mentorship, like, we've actually developed the most amazing high vibe living community. We have a private Facebook group, as well as now an in-person live community, which is growing so fast, and love it. So we have live events, we have online events, and anyone is welcome to join that. I know that the right people will come, so I trust that. And then I also do mentorship, mm-hmm. which is business mentorship, life mentorship, Reiki sessions, and then I am what's called a spiritual activator. Yes. So that is the piece where, I can remove blocks for you, connect you to your higher purpose. So, if you feel like you're meant for more and you can't figure out why, or you just feel like something's blocking you, then I would just say, or if you're feeling drawn to this video, then just reach out to me. I love that.
And I wanted to expand a little bit more on going into people's spaces. Mm-hmm. I had a question about that. Have you ever had to clear energy that wasn't necessarily for the people that are living there? Have you ever had to clear energy from past?
Yes, I actually just had that. So I don't advertise
Sure.
a lot of the high vibe living design work, not for any reason other than if people need it, they'll come to me. So I had a client that I'd worked with previously with Liberty Interior Design, and they moved and they asked me to come and help them again with decorating the space, which I of course did. And then as I came into the home, she said, okay, I know that you are also an intuitive, and I think there's some energy in this home. There's somebody who has passed away in the home, and I think that, you know, the previous wife has, you know, some attachment to it. Can you have, you know, a look around or an assessment and see what we can do? So we actually did clear the space.
I love that.
We did, yes, and we got to set the intention for the type of environment that she wanted for her family.
Wow.
And then we proceeded on with our design.
I'm gonna remind, I'm keeping that.
I'm
banking
Oh,
that.
right, for all my realtor friends.
Yes,
out there.
absolutely. Absolutely. What sets your business apart from others in your industry?
Well, I don't know that I've ever met anyone like me, but I
No.
also know that I've never met anyone like you. So I think that's uniquely it. I think I figured out who I am. I figured out what it is that is unique to me, my gifts, and I'm just offering that up to Chatham Kent specifically, but also worldwide. And I think I can feel, you know, stand in my power in that and feel really confident that that's what makes me unique, is that I am an intuitive interior designer who is also a Reiki master who can activate you spiritually. And, you know, if this isn't something that resonates with you, I'm still just a really cool interior designer. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be all parts of us at all times. And I think that's what makes me super unique, is that I can use all of the different pieces of me. But also, I'm no better than anyone else. And if we're all in touch with our gifts and our purpose, then everyone else is unique in their own special way.
Exactly. But it's beautiful that you bring so much dynamic to your business.
It is cool.
The different facets, but it's authentically you. And I think that shows through in every aspect of what you're doing with your business, which is awesome. So, how do you balance demands of running a business with your personal life and self-care?
Well, I feel like that's the one I'm still yet to master, although I think I've definitely got a lot better at it. I make sure that I have my own spiritual energy ritual in place. So, you know, in the mornings I clear my energy, have my own time for myself to set my priorities for the day. And then at the end of the day, same thing, clear my energy, cut any cords, kind of try to release. I was just actually talking to Courtney and some other friends just about how I take on other people's energy. So I could start the day out, you know, feeling a certain way, and then by the end of the day, like, I'm distended, looking like I'm pregnant with twins. And so that's the piece that I have to do a better job at, is sort of like releasing, not taking on too much as I'm working with energy and in people's homes, but also, you know, making sure that I turn off those gifts and those parts of me so that I can be present with my own family. Those are the things that are ultra important to me. And how I do it is honestly just having very clear boundaries with what I'm willing to accept and not. And, you know, sometimes being a recovering people pleaser, sometimes I'll just say yes. And that's the piece I have to protect the most to be able, you know, to manage. But
absolutely. And you're speaking some truth to me as well. So I totally get that. What key decision has been pivotal to the growth and success of your business?
Choosing to let my fears control me, I would say. You know, I held back a lot in the beginning and not wanting to, like, put my face out there or talk about things. And I know that was something that was holding me back. So I would say the key to success is really just doing the work and setting those boundaries so that I can feel free and safe to be myself and to offer what I do.
And I'm sure there's a number of people that feel that way as well. What advice would you give to women who want to start their own business in your field?
Which one? Any
Probably let's stick to design. Yeah, let's stick to design. Because everything else is very unique.
Yeah. Well, I would say first of all is like, do your research, because I think I've had a lot of co-op students and a lot of people want to work with me as an interior designer because they're looking at what they see on social media.
Right.
And I am guilty of this as well. When I went back to get my interior design degree, being a highly educated individual prior to that, I thought it would be fluff. I thought it would be easy. So then I took the course and I realized it's not. It's not fluff. It's not easy. There's science, there's architecture, there's theory, it's so much more than what you think it is. And so do your research and make sure that all aspects of it, you don't have to do all of it, but that you at least understand what's involved before you take that next step. And also, I would say just like spend time getting to know yourself truly at who you are in your core, and practice and be surrounded by other people doing the work to really make sure that that's something you're interested in.
I mean, it's not just Pinterest boards.
No, definitely not. And I mean, I'm sure there are decorators and designers who, take that approach, but to be done the right way and to truly add value to all the trades and my clients, you really need to study, stay on top of trends, and educate yourself in business code, science, all the things.
I love that. Yeah. So what strategies have worked best for your marketing and for your business and growing your brand?
So I love this question because I think that, people in business hold themselves back because they feel like it has to be perfect or it has to be done a certain way. The most important thing you can do for yourself is to just take one small step forward, just to take action. But what I would say is be authentic in how you deliver yourself and your brand. And I would rather see somebody, vulnerable and put themselves out there and sharing their business than somebody who's put a whole bunch of posts out there that really don't show me who they are. Sure. Social media is a tool, and it started to help people get to know personal aspects about businesses, and there's lots of other mediums for us to share more professional, serious content about our business. But social media, in my opinion, is about being authentic and genuine and just letting people get to know who you are.
And it's interesting, I think, too, when you think about the different platforms. I think Facebook for a long time was very personal. And then when we moved into Instagram, it was very much picturesque and trying to show the highlights.
The glamour.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So to each platform, too. But the through line, I think, is being authentic.
Yeah, that will, carry on in everything. I believe so strongly in it.
For sure. So how has your personal brand aligned with or influenced your business brand?
Well, I mean, I'm going to take a different spin on this question because we've talked a lot about authenticity. Yep. I think just in that, however I approached my life, in my entire life, I've approached it in, how can I be of service? What can I do for others? And I didn't always characterize it as that, but, looking back, that's who I've been my entire life. Right. So in terms of how I approach my business and my brand, like Joe and I are very much of that way. Like, we want people to be happy in their home, and we want to make luxury and interior design and beautiful handmade products accessible to everyone. Right. When we first started, our logo for Liberty Home was everything home for everyone. Because I felt like interior design and some of the people who were putting stuff out at that time was like, it was only accessible to a certain type of individual. Right. And I never ever in my entire life wanted anyone to feel like they were less than. Absolutely. And so to me, I think how I am as a person and what reflects in my brand is that Joe and I truly do care about each and every person that we work with. And, sometimes it's a little difficult to get rid of me at the end because by that time, we're best friends and I'm going to be in your life forever. Yeah. And, for sure, you're going to call me every time you want to move something in your house. No, jokes aside, like I do think just like that personal connection. and care for people
Yeah.
is what I believe is carried over between myself and our brand.
But I think that it also is that you are so genuine in your relationship, right? It's not a transactional relationship, right? So when you're coming in my experience with working with you, is you're coming with your whole heart and bringing everything that you are to every interaction, which is so different than hiring someone that's just, getting to the boards and putting things together.
And I'm not for everyone, and I fully appreciate and recognize that. And I think, you have to go with who you're drawn to, and that will be the right person for you. There's no one that's any better than anyone else.
Sure.
You might like a certain style better. You might like an approach better. Sure. I would just say research and know who you're getting into bed with.
Absolutely.
Before you do.
Yeah. And the same thing for my industry as well. So
absolutely.
I get that as well. How does your business give back to the community or support social causes?
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't even tell you, because every single day I feel like we're doing something, and that's the way we want it to be. Like Joe and I we're donating every single day to something. Donating our time, donating our services, donating products. We supported the Barnstormers this past year.
Nice.
We are very much advocates for youth sports, and so we sponsor soccer, baseball, hockey. I give back to a lot of women's events.
Absolutely.
Donating to the women's shelter, to so many. I honestly, it's not even about which ones. It's just that is so important to us, and it's something that's on our mind every day. We give a lot of our time, I would say. And that to me is just really important, to give your time back to the community.
And you're developing your own community.
Yes.
While you're at it, which is incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I love that Chatham-Kent is coming together in this way to help each other grow.
So where do you see your business in the next 5 years? And what goals are you most excited about?
Well, I'm big about manifestation, and it's not the manifestation that you see the coaches teaching you. I truly believe there's two different types. There's forced manifestation, and there is surrendered manifestation. So I dream big. And my background is finance and a professional accountant. So I believe in scorecards and performance measurements and all those things. But instead of setting hard, tangible goals for our business, I kind of talk in a surrendered dream land. Wow. So I will share that with you. So my dream for High Vibe Living is to be the premier self-development lifestyle platform in the world. Basically when somebody thinks of anything in their life, they are coming to High Vibe Living. But it's not me who's delivering this. It's the community of people who have come together to share their gifts. Sure. So every single person that I work with, they become a part of the family and a contributor, and they have something to offer. And so I see us over the next 5 years continuing to grow our community. We have people all over the world now online, but I see us having a greater impact in Chatham-Kent specifically, and then seeing that ripple effect go beyond Chatham-Kent throughout Ontario and Canada. So it's huge, it's big, and I love it. I'm excited.
And you've been in development for a new app that's coming out as well, right?
Yes, we're working on a new app as well, so it'll be a little bit more accessible. But we do have a website, we do have our communities, and we are also hosting many live events.
How do you hope to inspire the next generation of female entrepreneurs?
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm humbled that you're even asking me this question. Thank you. I feel like in the beginning when I started this, I was feeling a little bit lost, and I wasn't even sure that, that I was inspiring myself or anyone else. But throughout doing this work, I've had so many people reach out to me and say, you inspired me to follow my dream to be an artist, or you inspired me to follow my path to be an interior designer, or you inspired me to tell people that I'm into spirituality. Whatever it is, I feel like just by me putting myself out there and shining my light in an authentic way and feeling safe doing so, I am helping the next generation. And so, just by doing that, I hope that they are seeing that and seeing me be vulnerable and knowing that that's something that they can have too. Absolutely. And that the world needs them just to be them.
Yeah. And I think the beauty is it almost gives them permission.
Yeah, absolutely.
To walk into themselves as well. Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
There's no weird. No. We're all just individuals trying to have an authentic experience in a world that tells us we have to be like everyone else. Like, that's really what it is.
It's true.
And honestly, like, seeing my children grow up now versus how it was when I was a child, nobody told me I had to be a certain way. I just believed that, and I didn't have permission to be myself. Do you know what I mean? Whereas now, what I see with my children is they know they can be themselves. And so I feel like I'm even more so inspired by this coming generation, you know, the upcoming generations, than I am myself. So I'm very humbled by that question, but I think we all can inspire one another.
For sure. And one last question for you. What legacy do you want to leave through your business and leadership? It's a big, powerful question. It's a big question, I know.
Yeah. Honestly, the legacy I want is, it's not even me personally, it's just high vibe living. Like, when the name high vibe living is talked about, I want people to know that that's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's not, you know, a business. It's, you're living in a high vibration, and you know what that means. You know that that means peace. You know that that means alignment. You know that that means abundance, and you know that that means surrendering. And so that's the legacy, is really that everybody is on a vibration of love.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me here to your beautiful showroom and your office. And I'm so excited. Come and meet Erin Liberty in person at Match this Wednesday from 5 to 9 for Girls Night Out. Yes. Thank you so much for doing this with me.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a great night.
It's going to be fun. We might have some fun tools there to play with. So
I love it. We'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys. Thank you.